Hi everyone, and welcome at this quick look at Dragon Age Inquisition. Well, if you've been living under a rock, maybe you don't know what the Dragon Age is. It's an RPG series from EA, much like, let's say, the Elder Scrolls. And they just released their third game. Now, if you remember a little bit about the series, the first one, Dragon Age Origins, was very well received by pretty much everyone, and it had glowing reviews. The second one, well, no, was not well received at all. So they tried to learn from their mistakes, and they offered a better game. So far, I would probably say it's better than the first one as well. There's a lot of content. So, what is Dragon Age? Well, it's happening in its own world, with its own history. In the first game, you were a member of the Grey Wardens, and you fought against a Blight. Well, basically like sort of demons that came up from under the ground and they were trying to destroy everything. So, that was the first game. The second game was more about two factions in the world, the Templars and the Mages, who are always at odds. And during the second game, they started a war. So this game happens 2 years after the second one, and the war is still raging. And as the game starts, the Templars and the Chantry, the Templars, are trying to convene a council so that they can try and reconcile the differences. However, something bad happens. The whole place goes up in smoke, and out of the ashes comes out one person, you. And you have a strange power, and everyone is freaked out. They think you're responsible for the whole thing. So it sets out the whole story in motion. Eventually, you end up in a group called the Inquisition, which was part of the Templars. So realizing that they have bigger fish to fry than just the mages, they decide to form their own group to face against the new threat, which is responsible for huge breaches in the sky from which demons come. So yeah, that's your job. So as in any Dragon Age game, you can create a character from 3 races. The dwarves, like my guy, of course, I had to be a dwarf, well, duh. Then you have elves and humans, of course. There aren't any differences as far as statistics go, I think. No, they do have some bonuses. For example, the dwarves have resistance against magic. But races mostly come into effect as far as racism goes. A lot of characters that you'll meet will have their own issues with dwarves, elves, humans, or different classes. Because you have 3 main classes, the warrior, the mage, and the rogue. And of course, you have different classes, subclasses for each of those 3. In total, you have 9 classes available. But the 3 subclasses only become available at level 10. Your character can level up to 20. Now that may seem like not a lot, but frankly, let's just take a look at save here. Yeah, been playing for roughly 45 hours, and I'm only level 13, as you can see at the top right. Yeah. So it's not a problem. There's a lot of content. I have probably explored roughly half of the game so far. 45 hours. So plenty of content. Of course, it's a brand new game, so it's priced rather... it's rather expensive, but so far I've had fun. The gameplay, well, combat is nice, and there's plenty of content. There's also romances, of course. If you're into that kind of stuff, you're not obligated to go that way, but they're available. You have several characters. And let's take a look. So, you have, for example, Iron Bull. Well, I love him. He's great. Then you have Varric, who is a dwarf, and he's also awesome. He's basically like a smart aleck. I really like him. Solus, who I don't like, he's an elf, and he's bland, and he's bald, and I hate him. Vivian is a great character. And then you have Cole, who looks like an idiot with his helm. Seriously, what the hell is this thing? Blackwall, who is a Grey Warden, who I very quickly talked about. And he's awesome. Dorian is another mage, who is like the suave type. He's fun, but at the same time he's an asshole. Sarah... Oh, it's too bad we can't see their faces. Like, just let me go into their armor so we can see their faces. All right. So Iron Bull is not a problem, but let's see. Varric, come on, load him, load him. There we go. He looks pretty dashing, doesn't he? Alright. Then Solus. Let's remove his helm. Look at that guy. He looks like an idiot. Looks like an elf. Vivian usually comes with the type of hat that Maleficent in the Sleeping Beauty wears. She looks great. Then Cole, well, that's his hat. He's an idiot. Blackwall, that's a rugged type. He's great. Dorian, there we go. You can see the dashing type. Sarah, Sarah. Sarah was probably put in a game to appeal to teenagers. I can't stand her. I mean, she's always going about, you know, sticking it to the man, but she's so fucked up that she sounds totally insane, but not in a good way. Oh, right. Cassandra is one of your first characters that you get. She's the one who stars the Inquisition, and she's fun. She's stuck up, but a good character. Anyway, so as far as romances go, you have Cassandra, who is available to the guys. Sarah, who is available for the ladies only. Dorian, who is available for the ladies as well. Sometimes they are restricted to races as well. Blackwall is there for the ladies, and he is probably the only decent choice for a romance for women. Maybe Iron Bull as well. Cole is not available. Vivian, sadly, is not available. She has a great personality. She would be fun to romance, but So what? Solace is only available to elven ladies, which is fine by me. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Varric is not available, sadly. It would be a great romance option for the ladies. You have Iron Bull, who is available to men and women. Don't ask me how it works, but he's a great character, so why not? And there are two more possibilities for romances. One is Cullen, who is the Templar for the ladies, and you have Josephine, who is your ambassador, who is available for both sexes. And she's pretty much the best available female. She's awesome. Anyway, let's get out of there. There's plenty of crafting in the game. You can either create your own items as you buy or find different recipes. And you have the weapons, the armors themselves. Then you have different parts that you can add to these armors or weapons. So let me show you very quickly what I'm talking about. So as you can see on the right, you have just under, well, in gray, you have Superior Vanguard male arms and Vanguard male legs. These are things that I use to modify the item. So if I remove the upgrade, as you can see, it changes the stats. So I gain 5 magic defense. Here, a lot of health. Anyway, there are many different things that you can create, and you can create them with everything that you find, either as loot or as harvesting. So, yeah, my Great Blaze of Ass Rending. That's something that I created, of course. No, you don't find a Great Blade of Ass Rending in a game. And you have regular items like this. You have the rare items, and finally the unique items. So far, most of the unique items I found were not as good as what I had available at that time. So, so far, they're a bit of a miss as far as the unique items go. However, sometimes they have unique parts that are added to them. You just remove those and put them on your other weapons, and then you're fine. Anyway, you also have the runes. I don't have any runes available right now, so let's create one, just to give you an idea. So where is weapon, armor here, weapon here. There we go. And you have the list of items that you can make. So here, I would like for two-handed weapons. And you have the masterwork, things that you can find, which are rather rare. Sometimes you can find one to buy, but most of the time you have to find them. And you go all down to, oh, no, sorry, runes. That's what I want. Demon Slaying Rune. Plus 20 damage versus demons. Plus 30 damage towards demons. Corrupted dragons. Oh, I need that. I need giant spider lions. Well, I'll have to go spider hunting, it seems. So you have different kinds of runes that you can make and add to your items as well. Anyway, also you can customize your own base, but that only comes into account once you reach around level 10, because that's when the story opens up this part. Now, I'll go show you one last thing before I show what battle looks like. I'm going to show you where you unlock different zones and missions, which is the War Room. And while we're on the way there, let's go see Josephine, my girl.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of
Hey,
Antiva
hey.
is governed by His Majesty.
And she has a bad French accent, which makes her even better.
Rule the country in everything but name. Quite
She's awesome.
my God.
Anyway, let's go to the War Room. I'm playing the PC version. The graphics are low because even though my computer is no slouch, this game asks a lot. And frankly, you might be better off with the PS4 or the Xbox One version if you have one of those consoles. However, if you only have a computer, you might have some trouble running it with a decent frame per second average. Anyway, you have to acquire power points, as you can see at the bottom right, and you unlock zones by spending those points. For example, here it's the only zone I have yet to unlock, if I'm not mistaken. I need 30 power points to get it. I explored the first 3 zones from beginning to end, and I got to almost level 11. And I had something like 80 power points to spend. But once the whole map opened up, I didn't have enough for everything. So you really have a lot you can do. So missions vary in significance. Some will give gold, some will give influence that you can use with your perks. We don't see any perks available right now simply because I don't have enough influence for a new one. But perks vary in usefulness, I would say. Some are almost impossible to pass up, like the ability to open any kind of lock in the game. You basically need that to get, well, to finish some of the side quests. Others, like more inventory space, that's great, but you have a lot of them available, like give more experience when you defeat enemies, that's sort of stuff. So let's, resources, that's a simple one. There we go. So it gives you an explanation on the mission, how much time it is required. Your agents, usually the 3 are available. Sometimes you have 2 or 1, depending on the type of mission. Most of the time there is one agent who is better at the job than the others for that particular mission, and it will get you better stuff. In this case, it would likely be Liliana, who is from the first game, if you've played it, and she's your spy master in this game. Cullen is the guy, the Templar I told you about, who is a romance option for the ladies, and Josephine is the other romance option for both men and women. Alright, so you can send them on missions, which I will do.
Let's see what we have.
Some missions are important. Ah, there we go. Report ready. See, I got influence in this case. And another report ready here. Amulet of Power. Oh, that's nice. If I'm not mistaken, those give a power point to use for one specific character. Oh, a lot of influence, even better. Anyway, so this is what the war console looks like, and that's where you will advance the story. But what we want to do, of course, is take a look at combat a little bit. So here you see all the places you can go to, and I haven't advanced that much here, although I was doing some stuff here as well. So anyway, let's go here and see if there's anything I can unlock. Ah, there we go. Here you can choose your party. Usually I use Iron Bull because he's great, Varric because he's great, and Vivienne because she's great. Combat is in real time. However, you can, similar to Fallout, you can switch to tactical mode, and then the game is paused. And then you can give orders and advance time to see how it plays out. I haven't really used that so far because I haven't really battled against dragons yet. Dragons are nasty. So I don't, well, I could show you a dragon, but I would get my ass kicked, and that's not necessarily fun for me. Anyway, so let's take a look. There's stuff to do here. So let's go southeast. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. My character is now a Reaver, which is one of the 3 subclasses for the warrior, and he kicks a lot of ass. Seriously, he's awesome. But there you go. You have harvesting. Here it was iron. You can jump around. Oh crap. I have no idea where I'm going. Trying to find my way out of there. Elf root. One of the only thing related to elves that I like to collect. And yes, I am racist against elves. The zones are huge. As I said, I've explored relatively like half of the game, and that was in 45 hours, so... what have I discovered? So hopefully I can go this way. The party banter is awesome. Oh, this looks like something where nasty stuff will happen. I can't destroy it, sadly. So let me head this way. You can use a horse, but frankly, I found them simply useless. They barely go faster than you do.
Red Templars ahead. This bunch looks tough. Watch your step.
Really? They do? Awesome. Landmark to claim. Yay! There's plenty of lore in this game. Certainly not for everyone. I just want to go kick his ass. How do I get... Ah, there we go. Ah. So the Reaver is pretty much, if you've played Final Fantasy, it's kind of like the... oh, there you go. Kind of like the Dark Knight. So high risk, high reward type of class. Oh, that's great. And there are many puzzles as well, like this one. This one looks rather easy compared to some I've seen. But anyway, combats. One more thing I wanted to show as far as combat goes was the tactical version. So let me go inside. There will probably be a battle. Oh, Viridian. Yay! Come on. Enemies. I need enemies.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Alright. There's something hidden. There we go. So you have items you can collect as well. I just want to fight someone. You can't fight anyone when you want to. And when you don't want to, enemies! Woohoo! Alright. So, there we go. This is the tactical Wyvern. Level 13. That's interesting. Alright. And advance time. And if I just let the button go, it pauses. So if you're not very good at fighting in real time, you can always use that. Also, of course, there are different difficulty settings. So if you find the game too easy or too difficult, you can change that as you go. So there are plenty of options. Crafting is great. Exploring is awesome. Character interactions are really, really fun. So it seems like I'm praising the game from beginning to end, isn't it? However, there are problems. So let me get out of there and try and finish this. Oh, and there we go. I died. And she just healed me. Okay. Let me use a big ability. There we go. That's a nasty battle when you think about it. Those are almost like dragons. Not quite, but almost. There we go. Let me use a potion. It's almost done. Hey, that was rough. So let's see. Ooh, Fame Knocker. A unique staff. Alright, so now that I'm done with that, what is wrong with the game? Because it's not perfect. Let's see. Plenty of glitches. It could definitely have used some more polishing. For example, you can jump, which is great because sometimes you can jump on platforms to try and get some loot that normally you wouldn't get. So that's great in theory. However, let's say you want to take that Viridium here. Sometimes the items are incredibly finicky, and you have to be at the exact spot facing the exact direction for it to appear. Otherwise, you will just jump, well, not in this case, but you will just end up jumping around the item while you're trying to harvest it, because the same button is used for jumping and harvesting. So that can get really annoying really quick. Sometimes the game is a bit unresponsive, but it's mostly about the trying to select items and you simply can't. Sometimes when you check your map with your quest markers, they will be misleading. So I remember one mission in the first map where you had to meet a guy, and the map marker was straight in the middle of nowhere, and of course when you went there the guy wasn't there. What the mission didn't tell you is that you had to close 3 portals in one specific section before he appeared, and not even where the marker was. He appeared somewhere else. So in some cases you might have no choice but to use a walkthrough, except now the game has just been released, so getting a walkthrough is not easy. Anyway, so these can be problems. However, overall the game is a lot of fun. Lots, if not tons, of content, kind of like Skyrim, except the main difference I think is when you talk about romances. You know, in Skyrim you would do one mission for someone and then you could marry them, and that was pretty much it. In this game it's a lot more involved, it's a lot more fun. However, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, so that's fine too. Anyway, I really enjoyed the game, and despite its price, I would certainly recommend it. However, I would probably recommend the console versions instead of the PC one, unless you have a really powerful PC. In that case, go nuts! Go nuts! Oh yeah, that's right. We have the search function, which highlights items that you can interact with. So that can help. And there's also a perk that you can purchase to have a larger search area. Definitely worth it. Anyway, that was a long but not really in-depth look at the game. Despite this, I hope it was informative for you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.